Let's rewind back to Thursday night, and what a night it was at the MCG. 82,000 people there to watch the oldest and biggest rivalry in Australian football. Write another storied chapter into it. Carlton, they go 0-4. What did you make of how this game was decided, particularly in the third quarter?
Yeah, I think sort of a lot of the sting went out of the game as the third quarter played out because Collingwood were just dominant through that third term. Lachie Schultz was dominant himself in that third term, but yeah, at the ground, you look at the scores late in the fourth and it was only 17 points the margin, but it just felt like it was an unassailable lead really from Carlton, even though that's 3 kicks. But their ability to chain the ball in their front half, we're going to look at some of their ball movement in a minute, but it's been pretty poor. They've been able to generate the turnover, but then just struggling to score going back at teams. A
great moment for Lachie Schultz to be named best on ground in that game as well, given how much scrutiny has come his way as a result of what Collingwood had to give up to get him. But he's been fantastic that season and culminating with that effort. Let's have a look at the Blues, though. We spoke about their second half fade-outs last week, and it just got worse again. That third quarter was where the game was won and lost. They just run out of legs.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's been made about this, we've all talked about it. Everyone in the media has talked about the Blues fade-outs in the second half. They've led every single game so far this season up until halftime, and they've lost every single second half. And I would think that as a team, you'd probably identify that. Yep. You'd speak at halftime, you get the opportunity to go into the rooms, you'd speak about it, and you'd really rally together and come out in the third term, and the first few opportunities you get, you're going to make a mark on the game. Well, it went the other way. Collingwood won the first 6 centre clearances of the game, of the third term, and had the first 7 inside 50s before Carlton went inside 50 once. It just, to me, looks like they're not responding to what's actually being said to them, whether it's in the rooms or whether they're not talking about it. There needs to be something that just puts a real fire in their belly for the second half, because it was a pretty poor showing in the third term.
So your view is that it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing?
Well, I think you can play the mental role on it. You can really fire up the team so they dial in, because it's clearly an issue now. It's 4 weeks in a row. It's something that was an issue before it became 4 weeks in a row. So if I was the coaching staff, I would be really addressing that and saying, look, we're going out there, we're in the lead at the moment, we need to rally together. Any opportunity you have to win the moment in the third term early, that sets the precedent for us as a team. Let's go out there and do that, and hopefully you see a response.
Another thing that you've identified is that Carlton are actually creating a lot of opportunities for themselves, but they just can't capitalise.
Yeah, so looking at rounds 0 to 3, so front half or forward half intercepts, it's what you want to do in a game of football. They are first in the league, or were, from rounds 0 to 3. Their front half intercepts generating scores, 14th in the comp. Their efficiency, 18th in the comp. So let's have a look on Thursday night. Front half intercepts first half, they had 14 of them, and they generated 1 goal out of it. Here's one from early in the game. So that's a turnover there, a kick back into the corridor. Curnow has it here. So what we're going to do is, ahead of the ball, they have 3 forwards in really good position. Fogarty there, as a forward, you want to re-engage Howe here. You want to tick back up. You want to take the ground away and tick back up. To allow you the time to do that, though, Curnow needs to take some time at the top of his mark. You need to be able to have the time to reset as a forward. De Koning here, another really good grab, front half intercept. Brodie Kemp at the top of the screen there is completely on his own. So Darcy Moore here is his direct opponent. De Koning's looking inboard, so Moore doesn't really think he has to engage too much. He starts to look over and identifies Kemp. Then he watches the cues of the kicker go back towards the middle. Obviously, the kick is smothered to start with, but as Tom De Koning, people talking about him being the best ruck in the competition, you have to be able to kick that back through. And then their ability to play on when it's not there. They need some composure. McGovern here puts himself under so much pressure that the option, who's Zach Williams, he can't kick it to him anyway because of the source pressure from McCreary, bombs it in long, ends up being a free kick to Collingwood. And in all 3 of those clips, especially the first one, if you generate a turnover like that in the corridor, when you have 3 players out in your forward 50, you need to score points from it. You need to score a goal from it. And AFL standard is kicking goals from that part of the field. And Carlton just at the moment, no composure and also no connection inside their forward half.
What would provide a little bit of relief in that Carlton forward line in terms of entries is Harry McGuire returning. And he made a return to football in the VFL tonight playing against Southport. It was a bit of a dog of a night for Carlton forwards, given how well that Southport juggernaut did go. This is Harry McGuire's first goal of 2 on the night. He had his kicking boots on, which is obviously, a point that people like to make with him. So kick that goal, all the boys get to him. Elijah Holland's in that shot as well, who made his return to the VFL too with 18 disposals. How much of a difference do those guys make to that Carlton side if they can get back into it?
Yeah, well, I think Elijah Holland's his ability to inject some speed, and then also Harry McKay, so there's a little bit less focus, both defensively but also from Carlton themselves on Charlie Curnow. open up the eyes, look for a few different targets rather than bombing it long to the targets that are sitting there at the moment in Curnow.
The big headline as well out of that game, Dan Houston given a 2-match ban by the MRO. Collingwood are expected to make a decision on that sometime around Sunday or Monday morning, so we'll wait and see through the day to see how that unfolds.